Last year was a massive withdrawal of liquidity. All the money came out, the central banks were tightening rates, all the banks stopped lending money, all of that stuff. And it meant that all assets went down, and crypto goes down the most because it's the kind of longest duration, highest risk asset. So where are we now? So here we are right near the end of the rate hikes. The economy is probably going into recession and pretty soon. And so what happens is the markets start to look forward and say, maybe they'll stop tightening liquidity and take the foot off our necks, and maybe
when investing, you always have to be aware of fundamentals, for some people, even more than technical. Even though we at The Daily Crypto are big believers, that story repeats itself, and we love to hear people like Gareth. But today's a different type of video, full of value as usual. In today's video, Raoul Pal, who you probably already heard of if you've been in the crypto space for a while, will explain his macro view for 2023 and how that will take us back to recover some losses in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and who knows, maybe profit big with the right opportunities. So this is a powerful video. Please pay close attention and let's go. Let's start with the macro outlook.
it might be a more complicated year, but I don't think it's going to be that complicated. So macros, everyone suddenly learned, is they have to understand what macro is, because crypto got sideswiped by macro. They're like, what's all this interest rate shit? And it's now why you care. So look, the world is driven, this whole space is driven by liquidity and network adoption. So the adoption of blockchain technology is ongoing and relentless, but the liquidity of how much money's around drives the space. So once you understand that, you understand a lot about the space. So last year was a massive withdrawal of liquidity. All the money came out, the central banks were tightening rates, all the banks stopped lending money, all of that stuff, and it meant that all assets went down.
Now, according to Raoul, this is what actually drove Bitcoin prices to where they are now.
Global money supply year on year and Bitcoin price year on year, they mirror each other. So when liquidity starts to come back in the system, prices start to rise again. So we're at that point, which is why I've been really interested. So in crypto, we've seen that. I thought June was the low, and it was in ETH, some stuff, other stuff, no. But the point being is we've thrown the worst possible news. Prices kind of stopped going down. And now we're starting to see liquidity when everybody else is saying, can't you see, you idiots, you're going into recession. How could you own JPEGs when you go into recession? The point being is our job is to look a little bit further into the future. Why did prices come down all year? Because they were pricing in recession. Now, if we're pretty much at the point of recession, they will price in recovery. We don't have this, the banking system got sorted out a lot. They're just not allowed to lend as much money. So we don't have those imbalances. So it's very hard to see what's really going to blow up. Now, everybody's the bears who are still going, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever, are saying, well, earnings need to come down further. And therefore, we've got another leg lower. This is 2000 all over again. We're just not the same level of overvaluation of stuff. Yeah, we were overvalued, but that whole COVID boom has come off. If you look at something like ARK, it's gone back to where it was. Crypto has corrected to the bottom of its logarithmic channel. Everything's got back to where it should be.
With fundamentals in mind, can he predict Bitcoin and Ethereum prices for 2023?
So 2018 was the last time the Federal Reserve stopped raising rates. They didn't cut until, I think it was August 2019. So what happened was the moment the Fed went on hold, the markets went on an upside rampage. They were down kind of 30% and then they recovered. So not wildly dissimilar to now. And if I look out over the next year, well, the S&P did about 10%. The NASDAQ did about 14%. Kind of those growthy tech stocks, the kind of ARK style stuff, they did about 18%. So that was good. Bitcoin did 100%. And that's after it had gone up 400% and corrected. So, and even that didn't take out take back the all-time high. It took the following year for the all-time high to take out. So I think it's going to be a positive year, but that kind of choppy year where one minute you think, oh my God, it's going straight to the high. Then it's like, oh my God, it's gone back down. We're all going to die. And then it stabilizes. And it's generally, I think we'll look back and go, okay, we survived and we've actually made some money again, or made some money back. Let's put it that way.
What's Raoul's opinion on the current pump? We know he's not just looking at the price charts. So what's happening?
I've been buying, adding as much as I can every time I get any free cash flow since June. And I think it's real. Of course, we'll get some sort of correction. My actual fear, to think through, to get a bit more markets related, my fear here is, okay, the institutions and everybody FOMOs in. So ETH, let's say it hits 3,000, whether it's this year, next year, right? Well, there's going to be this stampede for people to come back in. There's 18% of the entire crypto market's in stable coins, plus all of these institutions are waiting for price action. Now we've got a massive issue that ETH is deflationary the more activity there is. So you're going to get more people joining the space when there's less supply, and it's going to get price dislocations. I'm not sure that this deflationary thing, part of ETH, has been thought through fully what it could mean. So there's some points in time where this thing could get completely out of control. I don't think it's this year, but yeah. What you've got is this yielding asset that has this ridiculous upside convexity that is, it's crazy.
Totally.
And then if you think of how the flow of money works as well, now that doesn't mean, it just means it might get extremely volatile because of this kind of situation. So we'll see.
And to close this remarkable interview, Raoul gives his recommendations for all of us bullish on this industry. What should we do to help the rate of adoption?
Look, this space is all about karma. And I've seen it more in this space than any other space. Like you and I are in Paris, there's magic happening all over this space, right? We're one degree of separation from anybody.
Totally.
You know, from famous artists to music people to fashion brands to, I mean, technologists to these giant Web2 companies, everybody is at the same place in the same time. So just put out as much good karma as you can and it will come round. And the more we all help each other, the more we will end up helping our bags too. Because what we want is adoption. We believe in the technology and the power of what this can do for society. So we need to be those people, but we need to not be the Bitcoin maximalist style of my way or the highway. You need to be invite them in for a cup of tea or a gin and tonic using your overpriced gin, and everybody's a winner. We can all win. It should be a mindset of abundance, not scarcity, not me versus you. It's let's all do this together.
Is Raoul right in his predictions for Bitcoin and Ethereum? Can 2023 be the year of recovery? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks.